If you could carry only one piece of tinder into a survival situation, what would you carry? For me, it would be this. Char cloth. And today, we're going to find out how to make it. Hi guys, welcome to Tenderfoot Bushcraft. Thanks for watching. On my last video, which if you haven't seen, you can watch right there if you follow that link, I had lots of questions about char cloth. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be taking a close look at char cloth. So let's find out a bit more about it. Let's find out what is char cloth, how can you make it, and how do you use it. So I'm just going to find a nice little spot to settle down now, and we'll do that. See you guys in a sec. Okay, so this is char cloth. Put simply, it's cotton which has been burned but not ignited. This is the exact same practice used to make charcoal. The reason that char cloth is so valuable is because it burns at a really low temperature, but it burns for a really long time. So that means you can strike it with a ferro rod, or you can even use a flint and a steel to light it, but it then isn't going to burn up instantly. And this is really good for someone like me who's a starter, because what I tend to do when I'm lighting a fire, as soon as I get that ember, I panic. And I try to get all the kindling on the fire as fast as possible, and I just panic, I do things too quickly, I don't slow down, and I end up putting the ember out, and next thing you know I've got no fire. So char cloth is really good for helping you just to slow down and just take that time to be a bit more methodical when you're building your fire. So I always keep some char cloth in my pack for whenever I'm going to make a fire. And I also take some jute twine. The reason I use jute twine is because it ignites really quickly. So if you team that with your char cloth, it tends to be a successful recipe for fire. So now we know what char cloth is and why it's so useful, how do you make it? Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need to make char cloth is cotton. It needs to be a high percentage of cotton, so ideally something over 90%. What I tend to use is just an old pair of jeans, like this. And I don't know about you, but I found the worst thing with COVID-19 is the fact that all of my clothes seem to have shrunk. It's definitely got nothing to do with the lack of exercise or alcohol intake. It's got to be the virus, hasn't it? So yeah, I've got no shortage of jeans that no longer fit me. So you want to get some jeans, cut them up, and then you've got your cotton ready. Okay, so next up we're going to need a tin of some sort. What we're going to do is we're going to pop that cotton in the tin and place it in a fire. Any tin will do, as long as it's got a lid which shuts quite firmly. You don't want any oxygen to get into the tin. So I tend to use this, which is just a tin that boot wax tends to come in, works quite well. Just a word of warning, don't do what I did. I decided to make some last week, and I was having a barbecue, so I thought I'll pop this tin on the barbecue. What could go wrong? Well, what could go wrong is that it just melted the tin entirely. So yeah, make sure you're just using a normal fire, not barbecue coals like I did. Okay, so we've got our tin. The next step is making a hole in the lid. So as you can see there, I'll just use a screwdriver and just punch the hole in the top. And what that will do is when this is in the fire with the jeans inside, no oxygen can get in. And obviously, if there's no oxygen, it's not going to burn properly, so therefore it won't ignite. All the gases that are being burnt will come out of this hole, and we need to keep a really close eye on those gases. As soon as they stop coming out, oxygen will then get in, and our char cloth will be ruined. You'll be left with nothing but a tin of ash, which is useless. As you may have noticed, I've got a buddy with me here today. This is Luna. Luna, come here. She's going to be my partner in crime. She's a Labrador, she's 2 years old, and as you'll see, she's full of energy. So yeah, you'll be seeing her around on this channel. Right, so next we need fire, which gives me a great opportunity to actually use the char cloth to show you just how easy it is to make fire. So let's go. Hey, who's going to use that? Okay, so as you can see, I've got my bed here of split deadwood. I've also got this stick here. The idea of this stick is that when I've got my embers burning and my tinders burning, I can lay the sticks on top without smothering the fire and choking it out. So let's get our char cloth lit. Now you only need a small bit, which is great. It means that one pair of jeans could make an absolute ton. So I'm going to have a small bit like that. I'm going to use my ferro rod to get it lit. Okay, so hopefully just one decent spark from this. Okay, maybe 2 or 3. There we go, that looks lit. So this bit here looks like it's lit. Can you see that? And it will burn really slowly, like I said. So what I'm going to do is I've made a nest here out of that jute twine. So I'm going to pop it in, fold it over and just give it lots of oxygen. There we go. Let's get these to burn. I'll get our little twigs on. I'm going to get some pine cones on because they burn really, really well. Give it some more oxygen. Okay, and if you're really gentle with it when it's this small, it's really easy to get over enthusiastic and put too much oxygen in it or choke it and then it goes out. It can be really frustrating. So we'll just take our time nice and slowly. Wait till those pine cones are nicely established, which they're doing now. Luna, what are you doing? Crazy dog. And then once you're happy it's established, you can start to introduce some larger sticks, but again, just making sure you're not smothering the fire, which is that typical teepee shape is what you want really. That allows oxygen to still be getting underneath. Okay, so that seems to have taken quite nicely. So I've got my bits of denim in there. I'm going to pop the lid shut, just pop it on top. Now we need to keep a really close eye on this hole here. In a moment you'll see some gases escaping, so let's keep a close eye out for that. Okay, so hopefully you can see the gases are escaping and they're actually burning. Let's see if we can move it. So just up here you can see the gas coming out and it ignites every now and then. As soon as that gas stops, we need to get it out as soon as possible. So we need to keep a really close eye on it now. Luna, come here. So can you see that almost looks like it's a bit of a flamethrower now coming out of there? That's what we want. We just keep an eye, when that stops, we put it off. Okay, I'm not one to let a fire go to waste, so whilst this is burning, I'm going to cook some dinner on it. Okay, so I've got Some onions and garlic in there. Let's pop a bit of butter in. As you can see, there's still a little flame coming out of our tin, so we'll just leave it as it is. Oh, this is smelling great. It smells great already. Okay, next we have just a little bit of chicken. Okay, I've just got this little pot here of mushrooms, so pop that in. Leave Lulu. Okay, this flame in here is just dying down, so I think it's only got a couple of minutes left. Just going to keep a really close eye. That's it, it just went out. So now we just need that to cool down. It's really important we don't open it. One, obviously it's really hot, but two, if we introduce that oxygen, the whole thing will combust and we'll just have a pot full of ash. So that's no good. So we'll leave that for 10 minutes. I'm going to cook some food and we'll check it out in a little bit. Annoyingly, I was just talking to you, but the camera wasn't recording. So I've just popped in some herbs and spices, bit of chilli, salt and pepper, the train going by, throw some rice in there, give it a stir, let it toast for a moment, and I've added some chicken stock, and I've just popped the lid on and just going to let it cook for a little bit. Whilst our tin's cooling down over there with the char cloth, I'm just going to sit and enjoy this lovely evening. I'm really lucky to have access to this part of the world at the moment. With everything going on in the world, it's nice just to be able to sit back, relax, take things slow. I don't think there are many pleasures greater in life than a fire, cooking outside, man's best friend, and one little treat I've got in my bag. Okay, my special treat is a can of Brewdog. Can't beat it. Absolutely love it. If anyone ever wants to send me a present, send me a Brewdog. And actually, Brewdog, if you're watching, if you want to hook up some sort of sponsorship deal, send me a case and we'll be happy. Gotta love it, especially on a night evening like this. It's a beautiful sunset over there. It's just coming up. It's nice and peaceful here. There's no one here except me and Luna. So to sit back in front of this fire, have a nice cold beer. Doesn't get much better, does it? Cheers, guys. Okay, this should be about done. Let's have a little look. Oi! Stop licking my spoon, dog. Come on, get out of it. Never work with animals. Let's have a little look. Oh yes. Don't know if you can see that, but that looks beautiful. Yeah, that's done. One thing I did forget was the little bowl that comes with this billy can set, which I normally use as a plate. Instead, I've got a very hot pot to try and balance. I think I might go get a bit of wood to balance it on. Whoa, that is tasty. That is really good. Oh. I'll tell you what, there's nothing like eating in the great outdoors, is there? Everything just tastes so much better. It's great. And these little piddy pots, they're really, really versatile, great bits of kit. My amazing partner actually bought me this for my birthday, and I love it, absolutely love it. You can put it directly into the fire if you want to, you can hang it, you can do what you want with it. It's really, really useful, absolutely love it. In fact, I'll put a link in the description if you want to have a little look. They're really cheap on Amazon, so worth the money. And actually I'll put a link to my knife there as well. This is just a Mora knife, dirt cheap. I think I paid about 12 quid for this, and it is spot on for bushcraft. It's so good. It comes razor sharp, really, really sharp. And as you can see, I'm beating on it with bits of wood. I'm using it for all sorts, and it's indestructible. So yeah, it's decent quality, decent value. It's just simple, it just does what it's meant to do. Obviously I'm not sponsored by them, but I'll stick a link in below, so feel free to have a look. And I'm just going to finish my dinner. I'll eat this, I won't make you watch me, and then once I've finished we'll check out the char cloth and see how we've done. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Okay, so our can is cooled down now. As I say, you really want to make sure it's nice and cool, because if it's still hot in there, the second any oxygen gets in there, it will ignite quickly and violently, and if you're like me, you're going to lose your beard, so just be careful, make sure it's really cool. So let's have a little look. If I can get the tin open. See, it's shut in the fire. I genuinely can't get into it. More a knife to the rescue. There we go. Let's have a look. There we go. So we've got two lovely rolls there. Brilliant char cloth. Pulls apart. So these two rolls here, they'd last me, don't know, I'd probably make 20 fires out of this much. Really, really useful stuff. If I was ever in a survival situation, this is what I'd want to be carrying. Okay, so there we go, guys. I hope you've all enjoyed that. So hopefully now you can all go and make your own char cloth and use it on your own fires, which would be great. Do like and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying it. Really makes a difference, really helps me out. And do let me know what you want me to make next. I want this channel to be for the community, not just for me, but I want you to be able to suggest something and I'll do it. So let me know what you want to see. I mean, do you want to see me building a shelter in the forest and spending the night in it? Do you want to see me building camp furniture? The last time I tried to make camp furniture didn't go well. Okay. Do you want to see me doing some whittling, surviving on minimal gear? You decide. So send me some suggestions on the comments below, and I'll do what you guys want. There's the dog barking, and there's the train going. What are you doing, dog? So now I think me and Luna are just gonna chill out, enjoy the evening, and apparently growl at nothing. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy and stay safe out there. Cheers.